Hi everybody, welcome back. We are on my bed. I don't know how the lighting and the sound and all of that will work, but this is just where we're at right now. I hope you guys are all staying safe, staying away from people, doing what you need to do. Okay? We're all just trying to survive together at this point and not go insane. I personally have been practicing for this, something like this, for well over a decade. I got this shit in the bag. So what I thought we could do today is a get ready with me, and this was actually inputted on my Instagram from Anne. She gave me this little tip. I asked you guys for suggestions on videos over there, and you guys gave me a few good ideas that I really want to do, so I'm hoping that I can film more than just this get ready with me. This is going to be using products like out of each category of makeup that I use for my face, for my routine, the cheapest one I have, which a lot of it is stuff that I actually use all the time, and then some of it is stuff I haven't used in so long that personally I don't even know if it's still good. So we're gonna go ahead and see, out of the cheapest products I have in my collection, what kind of look I can come up with. So if you guys are interested in that, then just sit tight and we'll get right into it. And everything that I used I will have down below in the description box. And if you're new here, subscribe, because we have a lot of fun. So let's get into it. Okay, so for primer, the cheapest one that I have is the e.l.f. and this is their matte putty primer. I have this one and I have the original, I believe. I've only tried this out once, and I don't exactly have a mirror per se that I'm working with over here. So I'm going to use like compacts, so I'm sorry if that's annoying. I don't know. We're just working with what we got here. So this is like a white paint almost. It makes me a little nervous, but I'm just going to put it in the areas that I tend to get the most oily. Let's see. I've only used it once. I don't really remember how it was. I do know that when I use primers like this, I usually like to test it out without any foundation or anything at first, just to see if it really does keep me matte, because under makeup my skin stays pretty matte to begin with, so we shall see. I'm also going to be trying to do this with my applicators and brushes and stuff too, as good as I can. So I'm going to go in with a beauty blender. I've honestly been using a foundation brush from Morphe, but this beauty blender is cheaper. This is the Paw Paw Beauty Blender. This is $1.55 on shopmissa.com. So I'm going to use that, and I have two shades of my cheapest foundation in my collection right now, which is from Maybelline. That is the matte and poreless, you know, normal to oily skin. They also have a dry to combo, I don't know, something like that. But I have 115 and 112 because my skin tends to change a lot. So I think I'm going to go in with 112. We're going to go in. I love this foundation. No matter what, I have a lot of foundations that I love, but no matter what, if I need something that I just know is going to have my back and work and give me the coverage that I want, I always go back to this foundation. So it's love. Let me know if you guys like this setup and I can do more videos like this, because I think that the lighting is actually a little bit better. It's more natural because I have my window open, which I don't normally do. I'm kind of a vampire. So if you guys like this setup, the lighting and all of that, just let me know. How are you guys doing with the isolation and the social distancing? I do that literally every day, all the time anyway, but having my 3 children home constantly is not good for them. They are bugging out. 3 gingers. Lord help us all. But my daughter's actually going with her dad down south, which is really stressing me out. Just not the greatest time for it, but you know, he wants his babies around him too, and it's the only time he would get to see them. So we're trying to make things work. I am homeschooling the kids as of right now. And we're just doing as much activities as we can and fighting and trying not to kill each other during those fights, because, you know, family. Now for concealer, I have 2. I have the AOA, which I did talk about in an earlier video. I think the last one that I put out. This is their liquid concealer. This is only $1 or $1.55 because it's part of that Paw Paw collection too, which the Paw Paw collection I find is a little bit better quality, but it's also a little bit more expensive. The Shop Miss A site is usually $1 for every item. These run around $1.55 plus. I don't remember exactly how much this is, but of course I'll pop it up so you guys know. This concealer is amazing for coverage, but this is in porcelain. I didn't know how the shade range was going to be, and it's really, really light. So I might use this, and I'm going to go in a little bit with my favorite concealer of life. This is like my third or fourth one. This is the Pro Tip concealer from a company called The Same, which is a Korean company. I get this on Amazon, and it's like $3. Best coverage, most natural looking, not drying. It's amazing. So I'm going to go in with both of them because I don't want to look like stark white. But this concealer really, really did shock me. So I like to put it up in the front area because that's just a little bit more brightening. But it is white. Like, if you can never find a good concealer that's light enough for you, try this out. And I just put too much on because this is just covering the whole area. A little goes a long way, but it's not super thick. Oh my goodness, what did I do? What did I do? I may just stick with that. Once I get it with the sponge on it, it doesn't look as light as it does when it first comes out. We might just stick with this, guys. I mean, look at that coverage. It's so, so good. And it looks so natural. Easy to blend. Not drying. Yeah. I'm going to go in with some powder. And this is just my go-to. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. It's like the most affordable powder you can get. I've hit pan on mine. And I'm also going to go in with a Real Techniques powder brush because that is the cheapest brush I own. And I'm just going to use this all over my face. It's breaking apart everywhere because it's old. It's really, really old. But it is a great powder if you're on a real budget, you know, like a real budget. Because I believe it's like $3 or $4. And it also doesn't make you look too powdered, if you know what I mean. Which is not good for someone of my age because the more powdered we are, the older we look because it settles into our fine lines. But I'm so oily that I need powder. So sometimes I look like the Crypt Keeper. For my brows, I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl, and this is their Micro Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, and I have mine in Honey Brown. It is the cheapest one out of the ones that I have, and it's one of the ones that I use regularly anyway, so not bad there because don't make me mess with my brows, you know? They're hard enough. And for brow gel, I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow. I personally like brow gels that are a little bit more expensive because I find that they work a little bit better, but in a pinch this stuff works good too. I usually like Anastasia Beverly Hills, but that will make you have really hard brows. Or my favorite is Lancome, their Sourcial Styler. I really like that one because it has like a little turtle shell with spikes that just really gets in my brows really nicely and conditions them. So I'm kind of picky about brow gels because my brows are pretty thick and wily. They're wily. For eye primer, I'm going to go in with Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I've had this forever and I love it. You know, come to think of it, I haven't used an eyeshadow primer in a while. I've just been using concealer, which that'll work too and save you some money. If you don't want to get an eye primer, you can just easily use your concealer. Alright, so the palette that I'm going to be using, I'm actually pretty excited that this was the cheapest palette because this is new, but I've also been loving it. The Maybelline's Nudes of New York. This palette is so good. I would have added it to things I've been loving since I haven't been filming. That last video I filmed, covered it up with a bunch of other palettes, forgot about it. But I love this so much, and this was $13.99. So it is the cheapest one I have at the moment. So I'm going to take a brush. Hold on, I am not prepared. I'm going to go in with just the Flesh color and set that primer so I have a canvas to work with here. Maybelline finally got it right with one of the palettes. Anybody try this and not like it? That's what I want to know. If anybody didn't care for it once they tried it. Because I was actually pretty shocked how much I like this palette. I keep thinking I hear something and it's my cat snoring. He's at the end of the bed just snoring. I think the cheapest blending brush that I have is from Real Techniques. It's not even that cheap though. I think maybe a Morphe one would actually be cheaper than this one. This was part of their blue collection. Look at that. Oh, but I think it was more expensive than the Morphe one. But I don't like this Morphe one. Alright, I'll use the damn Morphe one. I'm going to go in to this shade here. Oh, love this shade. It's called Explorer. Come on, don't mess up on me. This is just a really big brush. And all the like little hairs fall out of it. It's one of my least favorite Morphe brushes. Makes me mad. And I think it knows it makes me mad. I think it laughs about it. Well, I guess this brush isn't too bad. It does blend everything out pretty quick. Alright. You're not that much of a dick. I'm going to use one of my beauty widgets. This is just part of an Amazon like brush kit. They're so cheap, but some of them are so good. And this is one that I have kept out of that. Their pencil brush. And I'm going to go into, I think, Voyager over here. The darker shades in this palette are kind of chalky and hard to work with, so you have to be really careful. But I'm just going to put this on the outer V. Just to give a little bit of a dark ump. That's what you want to call it? A little zhizh. I'm going to take another, this is a Sultry Smudge from MOTD. It's another brush set kind of brush, and I'm going to take this shade here, down here, which is a really pretty shade. I'm just going to put that on my brow bone. I really like this shade. It's very reflective, like so pretty. I'm going to take this shade down here right next to it, and I'm just going to put that on the lid. It's a pretty kind of taupey, light taupey color. I'm just going to do it with my finger. Because, I mean, we're going back. We know what the hell we want. Now, I had to go through my eyeliners. The cheapest one I have is from Amazon, and it's something I recently talked to you guys about. The Mo Story, and this is the double-ended. You have the stamp, like the cat eye stamp. So, that's what we're going to use. It's a really kind of chunky monkey liner tip. Can you see it? I'm just going to go in and line my eyes and hope that my allergies will leave me alone and not make my eyes water. I'm going to go more dramatic with the eyeliner and lashes if I can, because my eyeshadow is more neutral. So why not? Kiki. No bath time right now. And then I do use the stamp side because it actually works pretty well. Bam! Bam! And then you just filled it in. It's kind of crazy. It works really good. Now my cheapest eyelashes, AOA, $1. And they are pretty dramatic. The band is a little bit thick. They're a little bit harder to work with. The cheaper kind of lashes that you go with, the more shinier they are too, so the less natural they look. I got mine in Jessica, but I do like these. These are also Paw, so they might be a little bit more than $1, but they are so pretty and fluffy. So I have to use my Velour Lashes glue and applicator because my cheapest one that I did have, which was the Kiss lash adhesive, which is one of my favorites I used forever, that went bad on me and I had to toss it. So I need to get a new one. This is the only stuff I have, otherwise I'd be using that in replace. But I wanted to be able to do a full face, which includes lashes for me, with my cheapest stuff. And yeah, So I'm just going to use that and cheat a little bit. Just a little. The Velour Lash Glue is extremely expensive. It's ridiculous. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. If you have the money and you don't care, I do recommend it, but don't even try to save up for it because you can get lash glue at the drugstore that works just the same and it's so much cheaper. I am breathing so hard trying to get this lash on that my freaking mirror's fogging up. There we go. One is on. Lashes just make such a difference, and these lashes are quite easy to apply. It's a little shocking because I have seriously expensive eyelashes all the way down to drugstore, and for the eyelashes that are $1 or something versus the eyelashes that are $28 and up, working almost exactly the same, feeling the same, looking the same, it can be shocking. Alright, so I have them on. So this is $1.55, I believe, eyelashes. They are not bad. They're so pretty. I'm going to order more when I can. Let's move on. Eyeliner, lower lash eyeliner. My cheapest is from Essence. This is one of my favorites, and I think they discontinued it. I've had this for years, and this is one of the ones I don't know if it's still good. I don't know. This is their gel eye pencil that's waterproof in cocoa bean. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Look at that crease. I got concealer creased in my old lady creases. Alright, let's hope I don't get an eye infection from that. Now I'm just going to go back in. I'm going to use, where are you? This is one of my favorite finds. I've had this for years too. This is the e.l.f. smudge brush. It's one of their dollar brushes. You guys need it if you don't have it. It's wonderful. I'm just going to go in into all the matte shades I used and just dust it underneath the eyeball area just to kind of bring the look together a little bit more. I find this so hard because I'm really like sensitive to things being near my eyeball, and my eyes water so easily, and if your eyes start watering when you have eyeliner and eyelashes on, girl, you're screwed. Yep, my eyes watering. I'm about to fuck it all up. Now I'm going to take a Morphe pencil brush and just go into that brow bone highlight I put on, and I'm going to put that on in my inner corner. I really like this shade. It's just so pretty. Okay, now mascara. Mascara, I have the CoverGirl Expeditionist. I had to like really go in and do some research on all of my mascaras because I have a lot of drugstore ones to see like which one was the cheapest. This one is the cheapest. I'm gonna go in. Try not to poke myself in the damn eyeball. I like this mascara too because it is super black. Very, very good for if you have falsies. Why do my lower lashes have to suck? Oh, they suck so bad. I just want long lashes that are natural. That's all I ask for. So for bronzer, I'm going to use the palette I've been using, this dirty ass e.l.f. palette. This is the Total Face palette. It comes with 2 blushes, a highlight, and a bronzer. I only use the bronzer, and I'm going to use this Morphe M528 brush. I love this. It's so natural for light skin, and it's easy to build up, so you won't mess it up. Give me a jawline. Hide the double. Blah, 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 blah. Now for blush, my cheapest is the Folklore. I have 2 of them, items that I wanted to use. That's from Folklore because they are so inexpensive. Oh, so pretty. So, so pretty. Now my cheapest blush brush is from Morphe because I usually use Wingoss. Oh, I love this. This blush is so pretty. And I've kind of been overdoing it with blush lately, and I don't care. I don't care. It's like, where do I have to go? Now, another Folklore for highlights is their Sculpt Glow. I could have used this, but it's the sculpting. It's a little bit more neutral, so it's more for contouring than bronzing, and I just kind of want to bronze a little bit. So my cheapest highlight brush here, if I can find it, where did you go, is probably my no-namer. I I need to get rid of this at some point in my life and just go with the Eco Tools. Wow. That's a little crazy. You guys have got to try this FAQS products out. They are so gorgeous. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something. I have no idea. For setting spray, I haven't used this in so long. This is the L'Oreal Infallible. And even though this is the cheapest one I own, it's still so expensive. So expensive. So if you guys have a cheaper alternative, let us know in the comments. I'm just going to go in. I mean, it works good, but it's still so expensive. It's so weird because it's like drugstore. It's setting spray. It doesn't need to be that serious. Now, what I like to do after I soak my face, I like to go back in with a sponge and just kind of set it all in there physically, like myself. And it just sets anything that like looks powdery or didn't blend as well. And it's toning down the highlight a little bit more naturally. Alright, for lips, the cheapest lipstick I had, which I wasn't sure was going to go with the palette I was using, hopefully it will. This is from Revlon. It is one of my favorite lipsticks in Sassy Mauve. It's kind of a darker tone, and I'm not sure if my camera just cut off, so I'm going in with the Wet n Wild lip liner and Bear to Comment, which I love. Putting it all over my lip, not just outlining. My lips are like naturally uneven. I hate it. This is why people get lip filler. But no. Ain't nobody coming at me and my lips with a frickin' needle. Someone get kicked in the nards. And sometimes I just leave this lip liner on like this and either put a gloss over it or just leave it because it's so pretty. But then I'm going to go in with the Revlon lipstick and just top it. Oh, they go well. They go really nice together. It's not bad. It's more of a neutral look. Not as dialed up as I normally would do. But it doesn't look bad. It's doable to go cheap, you guys. So this is the final look. I hope that I'm not too far away from the camera and you guys can't get a good look at it. I will leave everything that I used listed down below in the description box for you guys if you're interested in checking them out. Everything worked. Everything worked great. I had no problems because something was cheaper. I actually find that some of the cheaper products I have are my everydays and things that I choose over high-end. So if you have a product like that and you want to share that with us, leave it in the comment section down below. I love chatting with you guys. Make sure you subscribe before you leave. And I'll of course see you guys in the next one, and let me know if you like this setup and lighting and all of that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.